me ask you, are you a fan of comedies, like comedy movies?
Not so many that have come out in the past.
Well, that's my point.
10 years.
That's my point. When was the last great American comedy?
Guys like Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn and like...
You could have picked way funnier people than those two, but I see your point.
You get what I'm saying? Like these guys, they were good in the romantic comedies or the action like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. Bro, that was a marriage.
What was that movie?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
Like hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that was a moment.
Will Smith's movies, Judd Apatow's movies. I don't say Will Smith. Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Adam Sandler movies in the 90s.
Like Men in Black had its time.
Yeah.
Men in Black 2. Didn't really like the ones after that.
Like action comedies. Yeah, but when was the last great American comedy?
What would you say?
I have no idea. Because we haven't had one. And like laugh out loud.
And you're gonna love this. Shrek.
Shrek? Yeah, 2001. Fuck yeah, Shrek. I would probably say, I'd probably go back as far back, maybe Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. When did that come out?
Probably 2009, 2008.
Let's say Superbad was pretty hilarious.
Superbad, that was like 2007.
Yeah, that was definitely 2007.
Like that era. Like once we hit like 2014.
Movies just...
comedies in particular. It's because, dude, like you just can't tell those... Studios just won't tell those jokes anymore. Because they'll get canceled.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. Especially, that's specific to comedies.
I'm saying, yeah, specific to comedies.
Yeah, that's specific
to comedies. Like raunchy, adult, like old school, like the movie Old School type of comedies.
Right.
College, like Neighbors with Seth Rogen. Okay, you know what? This is the end. 2013. I'm going to go This Is the End. That was the last really, really hilarious comedy.
Oh, This Is the End. I thought you were saying This Is the End.
No,
the movie This Is the End.
This, you know, like James Franco, they're all in the house, Apocalypse,
Jonah
End of the
Hill,
World.
Yeah. Rihanna was in it, I think.
Yeah, that, Michael Cera stole the show.
Yeah.
That was my senior year of high school. That was the last great American comedy.
The Eastbound and Down guy in that too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? I'm going to tick off whatever I want.
That was a good one.
That's probably the last great American comedy. Because after that, you know, the whole... I think the Me Too movement was shortly after there, and all these movements, like the Black Lives Matter really popped up after that. You know, like non-binary became a major thing after that. It's like, you can't make these jokes anymore.
See, but...
In a Hollywood-produced comedy.
And that's why I love Dave Chappelle.
Well, that's the thing.
And there's a host of comedians that are saying, you know what, you can't make these jokes anymore, but I will, you know, because all right, it's like it's a comedian's job to make fun of things. It's okay to make fun of fat people. It's okay to make fun of this or that, but because you're non-binary, I can't make fun of it. It's a thing. People make fun of things.
Ricky Gervais said it best in his latest special. And
he's a guy with no filter.
No filter. He said, he's like, yes, I am making fun of you, but I'm giving what you want. I'm including you.
I'm acknowledging you.
I'm including you.
If I don't make fun of you, you know, I'm making fun of everybody else.
He said the buzzword.
Inclusion?
Inclusion. I am including you in my jokes. You are welcome in this space where I make fun of everybody else, including myself. And that's the great irony. So the Hollywood comedy is dead.
Well,
However,
they say comedy is the only still true art form.
The stand-up comedy.
Stand-up comedy. That's what I'm talking about.
Stand-up comedy is alive and well. I was listening
and podcasting.
I was listening to Andrew Schultz. He's a massive comedian now. He popped off during COVID. With this post on Instagram and YouTube. He's hilarious. And he was on Rogan. And I was listening to him on the way over here. And made the point of comedy is the new rock and roll.
Oh, yeah. You know guys like Bill Burr?
I fucking love Bill Burr.
Him, Dave Chappelle, man, they just don't care.
They don't care.
I love it.
But what you understand, what they do is very, very hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard. Comedy is the only art form where you can only do it in front of people. You can't practice to yourself.
Right.
You can only practice in front of a live crowd. Like imagine like Guns N' Roses, where they couldn't practice in a studio or in their garage. They had to practice in front of an audience.
Right.
Or a rapper where like he can't just go in a studio. He can't book recording studios and freestyle for a half hour. He has to do it in front of a live audience, get booed or get no reaction. Like for someone as good as Bill Burr,
and he's good.
He's polished.
He's
polished.
Like I tuned into Bill Burr probably a couple years ago, but I don't know. He's up there with my favorites. Like he's up there with Dave for me. I mean, I don't think he's as polished as Dave Chappelle, but I think he's like he will be.
Yeah, Dave's had a few years on him.
I think he's in the he's definitely in the conversation, regardless of being the great comedians out there today.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle is the greatest comedian
like some of the
today.
greatest. You know, I think Bill Burr is working his way there. He's had a couple specials.
Dude, Bill Burr's been around since like 2009.
Oh yeah,
he's been around a long, long time. And you listen to his old stuff. My one thing about Bill Burr, he'd always go,
Yeah,
right,
right.
fuck, yeah, right,
right,
I'm from Boston, and I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, she's black, I know I got a black wife, like that was Bill Burr back then, but Bill Burr now he cut that shit.
No, he still does it, but it's very much in moderation.
It's not that much, and he's just his writing is so clever, it's so smart.
His transitions are so good.
Yeah.
It's just like when I watch guys like Bill Burr, it reminds me that it is an art form. It's not just somebody screaming on stage or making voices or making faces. Like this guy is spreading different perspectives.
Yeah.
Cleverly, by making fun of things. He's pointing out, I just did the
I do it a lot
by pointing out like the things that are, he's basically pointing out the things that's wrong with us, the things that are wrong with society.
That's what comedians are supposed to do.
And like I've always felt that a lot of comedians, not all comedians, some comedians are kind of low bar, just talk about situations with their family.
Yeah.
But guys like Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, it's the big idea. It's what's happening now, what's in the culture. Yeah.
Comedians are supposed to make fun of everything.
And I know you told me about Lenny Bruce.
Yes.
So they just had a comedy special on Netflix. I didn't get through it. I started it. It's like Jon Stewart, John Mulaney, Dave Chappelle. They're created for the first time a Hall of Fame for comedians. And some of the people that were being inducted were, you mentioned them. The honorable mention to Lenny Bruce. But George Carlin,
of course, legend.
Robin Williams,
legend.
Joan Rivers,
legend.
And I can't remember the other ones.
Richard Pryor.
Oh, Richard Pryor,
legend.
Yeah, Richard Pryor. You saw it?
No, but those are all perfect inductees. I'd
right.
probably add. Actually, maybe I wouldn't add Eddie Murphy. He didn't have enough. He didn't do it long enough. But Eddie Murphy's legend.
Oh yeah, legendary. But I think he wasn't in there. Yeah, and he's also alive. It seems like everybody up there had passed.
That's true. All those up there are dead.
Yeah.
Shame Bill Cosby won't be there, but that's acceptable.
God damn it, Bill.
Yeah. How Christian? How upset are you about Bill Cosby?
Not as upset as I should be.
All right. Is that because you never liked Bill Cosby, or because you really like Bill Cosby?
Like, there were so many things. Like during that time period, there's so many Me Too things being thrown at you. This guy, this person doing this executive at Fox doing this, bombshell, like this, that, and the third. I don't know. It was a lot. Louis C.K. taking out his dick and doing weird shit. Like
he asked permission.
During that time period, there were so many just things happening, and like obviously it was a huge shock. Oh my God, then R. Kelly too. Like oh my God. But I don't know. I wasn't that upset about it. I was just like, oh wow, him too.
Well, the crazy thing about Bill Cosby is
I would definitely be, and the thing is, Bill Cosby is like before our generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. I watched tons of the Bill Cosby Show. But did I watch him in I Spy? Did I watch him in all like the old films and in TV shows and movies that he was in? Not really.
No, me neither.
You know, I've seen some comedy from him. But if I found out Will Smith or Denzel, I'd be heartbroken.
Oh, yeah.
I was heartbroken about the smack incident. I was very upset about that.
I was heartbroken about Louis C.K.
I watched a little of his show. Louis.
Oh, Louis on FX? Yeah, it was a great show. Yeah. A little depressing at times, but that's who he is, dude. That's just who Louis is. He's a weird guy with a sex problem. And, well, I should say a masturbation problem. But I wouldn't say he's a predator.
I never got the details. I never bothered. I just heard he, like, took his dick out or something.
Yeah, he asked women permission if he could masturbate in front of them.
You know, Dave Chappelle does a bit. He's like, you know, I couldn't help but laugh a little bit.
Yeah. It's just like, you look at Louis and you just go, yeah, he did that.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And no one doubted it. Not one person doubted it.
And I liked how his humor, you know.
Oh, he's hilarious. I called him the modern day George Carlin.
Very off color humor.
His best joke is you can tell how good of a person you are how soon after 9/11 you masturbated. The crowd pops, they laugh, and he goes, "Me? Oh, me? I was doing it in between the first and second towers going down." That's his best joke. It's his best joke.
Unafraid.
Hilarious.
Unafraid.
It's just, dude, the first time I heard it, I think I pulled over. It was so funny. I laughed so hard.
The George Carlin, one of the features, because they were shot exactly what you said. They were like George Carlin, Lenny Bruce. These guys went to jail for their comedy. Apparently,
Carlin didn't. Bruce did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. George Carlin was after Lenny Bruce. So George Carlin.
He said he was the first person to say all the words you cannot say on television.
The 7 words you can't say on television. It's like piss, cock, motherfucker, cunt, and something else. I forget.
Yeah, it was like 7 words.
Yeah, the 7 words.
Yeah.
So, but he started out as a cookie cutter.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, fuck, of course. He started out as a cookie cutter comedian. Like,
I was hearing the story. Wearing a suit
and tie.
All clean cut.
You were like, it was, I mean, we talked about this like the first time we did one of these shows.
Mm-hmm.
About George Carlin's like, you know, what cucumbers say to the watermelon? Why so green? I don't know, something stupid. Like, right? Like, got any seeds? Whatever. Something stupid. I'm not gonna off the cuff call me like that.
Right.
But and then he just flipped the switch and went crazy.
Said apparently the way the story was told, the way Jon Stewart was saying, is that he was making a living, a great living, supporting his family, had a very nice house, but he felt like he wasn't leaving his mark on the time period.
Which he wasn't.
And he just completely made a switch, grew his hair out, grew out his beard, started wearing whatever, and started going crazy.
Dude, we need a George Carlin in these times.
Oh, yeah.
We just need someone.
I mean, Netflix is making a huge push. I've seen probably 4 comedy specials in the past 2 weeks. They're just Netflix is a joke. It's like a wing. It's a part of their branch of Netflix where they're just pushing out comedy things left and right. Even Snoop Dogg had a special.
Yeah, Bill Burr had like a festival where it was like, you know, he had like 7,
I saw that. Yeah,
7 comedians. They each get like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
or 7 minutes.
Yeah,
some of them are really funny. Some of them kind of sucked.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And then like Dave Attell came on. And I was like, oh, this motherfucker. Dave Attell, another legend.
Thoughts on John Mulaney?
I never listened to his stand up, to be honest.
There was one in particular I thought was funny. Other times I just find him to be whiny.
From what I heard, he's funny, but he's very, very, very mainstream.
And he's very
prim and proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the suit.
Yeah, I know he's successful. I know people like him. People say he's hilarious. I'll take their word for it. I've never actually listened to him.
But I think, guys like Bill Burr a little bit more rough around the edges.
I mean, you do have that kind of like that clean comedy, like that Kevin Hart comedy. Like Kevin Hart sells out like stadiums. You know Fluffy? Gabriel Iglesias. He sold out Dodger Stadium 3 times.
I didn't know him as Fluffy, but yeah.
The big fat guy?
Yeah. I know he is. I didn't know him as Fluffy.
His moniker is Fluffy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
A comedian sold out Dodger Stadium 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's unbelievable. It's like 60,000 people.
Right.
Unbelievable. Matt, he's clean. He's a clean. He's for the most part pretty clean. Jim Gaffigan, clean cut, super clean.
Oh, his bit on bacon. I wonder if he's gonna tell more bacon jokes.
Seinfeld, clean cut.
Clean cut, but funny, hilarious.
What's up with that? That's my Seinfeld.